It was just another evening in Hong Kong. The streets were bustling with life, neon lights flickering against the wet pavement, and people were finishing their dinners or heading home after a long day. Suddenly, a plume of black smoke shot up into the sky, followed by roaring flames that consumed an entire building in minutes. Panic erupted as sirens blared and residents scrambled to escape, some trapped by the fire and smoke, while firefighters rushed into the inferno to save lives. By the time the city realized the scale of the disaster, the fire had already spread to nearby structures, leaving chaos in its wake. How did a fire like this happen in one of the most modern, densely populated cities in the world? What mistakes were made, and what could have been done to prevent such a tragedy? Today, we'll uncover the full story behind the Hong Kong fire, the timeline, the causes, the heroic rescue efforts, and the lessons that every city can learn from this devastating event. This incident shocked not just Hong Kong, but the world, and it has raised critical questions about safety, emergency preparedness, and urban living in high-risk cities. In this video, we'll take you through the events as they unfolded here, first-hand accounts from those who were there. Examine the investigation into what went wrong and look at how the city is responding to ensure such a tragedy doesn't happen again. By the end, you'll have a clear picture of the fire's impact, the human stories behind the headlines, and the hard lessons that have emerged from this disaster. Stick with us, because this is a story of chaos, courage, and crucial lessons for everyone living in urban environments. The fire began quietly, almost unnoticed. In a residential building in the heart of Hong Kong, residents were winding down for the evening, cooking, chatting, and preparing for bed when the first signs appeared: a faint smell of smoke, followed by flickering lights and a sudden heat that spread through the hallways. Within minutes, flames shot up through the lower floors, feeding on wooden interiors and old furniture. Panic quickly spread. Families grabbed their children, pets, and essential belongings, while others struggled to navigate smoke-filled corridors. Emergency services received frantic calls, and firefighters raced toward the scene, sirens piercing the night. By the time they arrived, the fire had already begun to engulf multiple floors, and the risk of it spreading to neighboring buildings was high. Eyewitnesses described scenes of chaos: people climbing out of windows, neighbors throwing buckets of water, and firefighters forming human chains to evacuate residents. Within the first hour, authorities declared it a major fire, calling for backup from nearby districts. As the fire continued to grow, social media became flooded with videos, and the world began to realize the scale of the disaster. In those first terrifying moments, every second mattered, and the city braced itself for a night of unimaginable destruction. Determining how the fire started became the city's top priority. Initial reports suggested an electrical fault might have triggered the blaze, possibly an overloaded socket or a malfunctioning appliance. Some experts pointed to the building's old wiring and lack of proper fireproofing, which allowed the flames to spread rapidly. Authorities launched a full investigation, combing through debris and interviewing residents, maintenance staff, and witnesses. Some rumors circulated online, suggesting arson or negligence, though these were quickly addressed by officials as speculation. Structural issues were also examined. Hong Kong's high population density means many older buildings house multiple families in cramped apartments, making evacuation more challenging and increasing fire risks. Fire inspectors focused on whether the building complied with safety codes, the functionality of alarms and sprinkler systems, and emergency exits. While the official report was still pending, experts emphasized the importance of regular inspections, proper maintenance, and public awareness. This fire highlighted the risks of combining outdated infrastructure with modern city pressures. The investigation became not just about blame, but about learning lessons that could prevent future tragedies. Every finding was scrutinized, as the city demanded answers for why a fire of this magnitude could happen in one of Asia's most developed urban centers. The emergency response to the Hong Kong fire was immediate, intense, and heroic. Firefighters arrived within minutes, fully aware of the dangers of a densely populated high-rise engulfed in flames. Their first priority was evacuating residents, especially children, the elderly, and those trapped on higher floors. Fire trucks and ladder systems were deployed, and in some cases, firefighters used ropes to rescue people clinging to windows. Smoke inhalation was a major threat, and paramedics treated dozens on site for burns and respiratory distress. Communities joined in, forming human chains, guiding residents to safety, and offering shelter to those displaced. Technology played a vital role. Drones were used to assess hotspots. Thermal cameras identified trapped individuals, and communication networks coordinated the massive rescue operation. Social media and local news channels helped disseminate safety information and updates, allowing residents to stay informed. Despite the chaos, every life mattered, and the bravery of emergency personnel shone through. Stories emerged of firefighters returning multiple times into burning floors to save those who could not escape, risking their lives for strangers. This response became a testament to Hong Kong, dedication to protecting its citizens and the sheer resilience of first responders facing one of the city's most harrowing nights. The aftermath of the fire was devastating. Dozens of families were left homeless, belongings were reduced to ashes, and the skyline bore visible scars from the intense blaze. Casualties included both injuries and, tragically, lives lost, leaving communities mourning and grappling with sudden trauma. Businesses operating in or near the building faced massive losses, affecting not just employees but the local economy. The fire also exposed vulnerabilities in the city's urban planning, from densely packed apartments to limited evacuation routes, prompting officials to reevaluate building safety codes. Beyond the physical damage, the psychological toll was immense. Residents spoke of sleepless nights, nightmares, and the lingering fear of another incident. Relief organizations and volunteers immediately mobilized, providing food, clothing, temporary shelter, and emotional support to affected families. Fundraising efforts and government compensation were announced to help victims rebuild their lives. News coverage captured not only the destruction but also moments of hope, as neighbors helped each other and communities rallied together. While Hong Kong is known for its resilience, this fire reminded everyone how quickly life can change, emphasizing the importance of emergency preparedness, community solidarity, and proactive urban safety measures. One of the most important takeaways from the Hong Kong fire is the critical need for preventive measures. Regular building inspections, updated fire safety equipment, and strict adherence to regulations are essential in high-density urban areas. Experts recommend installing smoke detectors, sprinkler systems, and emergency alarms in every building, as well as clear signage for escape routes. Public education is equally vital. Residents should know how to react in a fire, including staying low to avoid smoke, using fire extinguishers safely, and having an evacuation plan. The fire also prompted discussions about urban planning, especially regarding older buildings that may not meet modern safety standards. Local authorities are now reviewing regulations to ensure older structures are retrofitted and maintained properly. The event also highlighted the heroism of emergency responders, demonstrating that human preparedness, courage, and coordination can save countless lives even in dire circumstances. Beyond Hong Kong, cities worldwide can learn from this disaster, understanding that prevention, awareness, and swift action are the best defenses against urban fires. The tragedy serves as a stark reminder that while we cannot eliminate all risks, we can take meaningful steps to reduce danger, protect lives, and build safer communities for the future. As the smoke finally cleared over Hong Kong, the city began to reckon not just with the destruction, but with the lessons this fire has taught everyone. Lives were lost, homes were destroyed, and communities were shaken. But the courage, resilience, and solidarity that emerged in the midst of chaos offer a powerful reminder of human strength. Firefighters risked everything to save strangers, neighbors helped neighbors, and the city came together to support those affected. Beyond the immediate tragedy, this fire forces us to reflect on how prepared we truly are in our own homes and communities. Are buildings maintained properly? Do we know how to react in emergencies? Could small precautions save lives in a similar situation? While Hong Kong rebuilds, the message is clear. Prevention, awareness, and readiness are the best defenses against disasters. As we honor those who were impacted and celebrate the heroes who acted without hesitation, let this story remind us all to take safety seriously, value the courage of first responders, and strengthen the bonds within our communities. The Hong Kong fire is a tragedy, but it is also a lesson, a call to act, prepare, and protect life. Because in moments of crisis, every second, every decision, and every action truly matters.